There is only one you, so why not become the best version of yourself? You are the only one capable of bringing out the best in you. But it gets even better. Being the best version of yourself doesn't just concern you. It makes you become more interesting to other people, and they'd be more willing to network with you professionally or even become friends. So if you were paid to become the most professional version of yourself, what would that look like, and what exactly would you do? Well, you don't have to sweat it because today we're taking a look at 15 ways to stand out. Welcome to ALUX. Number 1. Equip yourself with necessary skills. One of the easiest ways to stand out professionally is to equip yourself with the right skills. Employers will always look for the most skilled individual, and having the right skills increases your chances of asking for a better salary. Let's try a quick experiment. Imagine you're an employer who needs a new developer on your team. Then you get 5 individuals with varying levels of skills and experience. But one particularly stands out due to their extensive list of skills, which dates back to a very young age. Even if this candidate isn't the most experienced among the 5, you would probably be more willing to give them a shot due to the skills they've acquired over the years. Skilled individuals are always in high demand. Interestingly, it doesn't just show how knowledgeable they would be, it also shows the lengths they would go to acquire knowledge. Everybody loves that, trust me. It'll definitely set you apart from everybody else. Number 2. Always allow your creativity to show. You know you have better ideas, but you wouldn't share them because you think nobody would care about what you think. Well, spoiler alert, it's not about people caring, it's about you showing your creativity no matter the feedback. Your creativity sets you apart from everybody else, but if you don't allow it to show, it'll end up buried and you'll probably end up an undiscovered gem. Now that would be an undoubtedly tragic story, right? Allowing your creativity to show signifies initiative and tells your colleagues that you're willing to go the extra mile. It also reflects your ability to problem solve in ingenious ways, and yes, this distinguishes you from everybody else. Number 3. Be willing to grow. As a professional, you must always be willing to move with the times. And we understand it takes several months to learn particular skills, but you have to understand that because of how fast the world is changing, you kind of need to take on new skills. Also, most of these skills we learned in college, they're just not enough for the real world. So employers need to see someone who's willing to learn new skills or adapt in a new way of doing things. Most companies don't look for employees simply for the present, they're looking at the future too. It doesn't matter if you're an expert in one field, learning to grow in multiple areas will make you a treasured person wherever you find yourself. Number 4. Be disciplined. It's not like discipline is being taught in college or high school. There's no class called Discipline 101 as far as we know. So, discipline is a skill you have to teach yourself, and it will never stop being a part of your life. Sometimes you might be pushed to act on impulse or allow your feelings to take control of you. However, being disciplined means you can channel these strong emotions to something else while also maintaining a clear set of principles. Being disciplined is a show of mastery over your mind and behavior. It also means you wouldn't be like anyone else, which in turn makes you extra unique. The entire world might be doing things in a haphazard manner, but your discipline wouldn't allow you to settle for mediocrity. Naturally, this will make you stand out from everybody else. Number 5. Take yourself seriously. How do you expect people to see you as a strong force if you don't feel that way about yourself? One of the first steps to standing out is to take yourself seriously by telling yourself that you deserve to be heard and seen. And to be seen and heard in this extremely noisy world, you have to be different from everybody else. You've got to stand out. And interestingly, one of the best ways to get started is to equip yourself with the right skills while also becoming better at the things you already do. When you start to take yourself seriously, other people will have no choice but to treat you the same way. Number 6, be helpful. It might seem cool, but nobody likes a colleague who can't lend a hand when the need arises. Helping others remains one of the easiest ways to make a great impression. People become extra interested when you help them or are nice to them. Sometimes it's easier to repay the kindness, while other times people are genuinely surprised that you did this for them, which makes them believe you would be a great friend. In addition, helping others shows a strong sense of empathy, while also showing how much of yourself you're willing to give to other people. Number 7, be a collaborator. Being a lone wolf is cool, but you know what's even better? Learning to work with others. Being a collaborator means you're always willing to work with others and always willing to be a part of a team. But being a collaborator is also more than that. It's about making others look good. It's quite a simple logic, really. If you make people feel good and comfortable around you, you'll naturally stand out from others. However, there's one thing we should mention about making people feel good. Don't be disingenuous, okay? Don't say anything if you don't really mean it. Number 8, become extremely good at what you do. It's totally impossible to not get noticed if you're the best at what you do. If you consistently produce excellent work, it's only a matter of time before you're discovered. Producing great work also increases your chances of promotion, as it'll show your employers that you are genuinely interested in the progress of this organization. Did you also know that doing a good job fills you with a certain level of satisfaction? So it's not just about getting noticed. This has an immense effect on how confident you feel about yourself and your skills. Number 9, be positive. You might personally believe that the world is a pretty unfair place, but you don't have to share this sentiment with everyone you meet. Share positivity. Nobody wants to hear you constantly nag about how difficult things can be. Positivity sells. We all like to be assured that things will be okay. The secret to this is finding a way to merge the worlds of positivity and professionalism. Things can get kind of messy at a typical day at the office, but it's important that you don't allow it to dampen your spirits. And if it does dampen your spirits so much that you feel unmotivated to work, you don't have to make others feel the same way. Positivity and optimism are infectious, and if you're the one who always brings to life every work situation, your colleagues will naturally gravitate toward you. It's the same way you would prefer to work with an encouraging and pleasant person, compared to someone who just can't seem to see the bright side of life. Number 10, know thyself. You might not know it yet, but there's something different about you, something that makes you unique. But before you understand what's different about you, you must first know yourself like a painter knows their canvas. After discovering what makes you different, the next and most important task is to learn how to capitalize on this unique trait of yours. This unique trait will make you memorable and eventually push you to becoming noticed. Number 11, create deeper and more meaningful friendships. We all know that the most professional spaces are filled with surface-level friendships because it's filled with a bunch of people who just can't wait for that closing hour. But despite our love from being freed from work, we still should be able to create meaningful and genuine relationships in a professional space. When you get to know people on a more personal level, you start to understand why they behave in a certain way, and knowing the motive behind their actions makes it easier to respond to them in an appropriate way. And when your colleagues begin to notice this, they start to see you in a different light as well, which consequently will make you stand out from every other person in the office. Number 12, get relevant experience. At the start of this video, we made a mention of the importance of skills, and in the same vein, relevant experience is also needed to help you stand out from the crowd. To grow in your field, you can't only be worried about money. This is especially true if you're in the early stage of your career. Many organizations offer up internships because of the learning opportunity it provides. Getting the right experience also shows a willingness to learn and grow, and just like having the right skills, it'll put you in a far better position to be unique. Number 13. Pay attention to what you wear. Have you ever discovered that you immediately notice people with a unique fashion sense? This is because how you dress has a direct influence on how you're addressed. You might not know this, but what you wear subtly suggests how much influence you have, how smart you are, how much money you earn, and how important you are in the large scheme of things. But most importantly, what you wear increases or decreases your chance of standing out. In fact, research on the psychology of fashion has shown that what we wear is directly tied to our identities and how people will come to define us. If you have a reputation for dressing shabbily, it shouldn't surprise you when people refuse to pay attention to you. Since you'd be in a professional setting, you might think it's almost impossible to become creative with your fashion sense. But by adding standout pieces to your wardrobe, such as a really cool pair of glasses or a brilliantly colored blazer to your outfit, in no time, you'll see how everyone pays attention to your next day at the office because they're convinced you'll be wearing something fascinating. Number 14. Work with a game plan. Having a game plan makes it easier to define ways that you can stand out. For example, you could create a list of traits and values you want to be known for. Then, ask yourself if your current values and traits are in line with that list. If they're not, then you have to create action steps that will push you to become a better version of yourself. And finally, number 15. Be authentic. Standing out doesn't mean you have to become somebody else entirely. It's mostly about being the most original and genuine version of yourself. By just being yourself, you have an increased chance of standing out. You don't have to dress or sound like somebody else. Your voice is unique the way it is. Also, choosing to be authentic means you'll accept your inadequacies and shortcomings and won't allow them